Hey everyone, and welcome back. It's Scott with BikeRide.com, and today we're looking at the 700 series from Ride1Up. This bike is billed by many as a commuter's dream, with high affordability and great features. So let's put the 700 in the hot seat and see how it fares against our standard battery of tests. Stay tuned to see the results as we take our third bike from Ride1Up out for a test and see how it stands up to the competition. So what is the Ride1Up 700 series? The 700 series is a well-designed, commuter-friendly bike with a high speed limit and components defying its price point. It has a Tektro hydraulic brakes and an 8-speed Acera drivetrain, which are a step above other bikes in the same price range. Add this to its suspension fork and a 500-watt Bafang motor capable of powering the bike up to 28 mph limit. The result is a comfortable and powerful bike that has more than enough power to eat up those miles. Starting off with our first pro, we have a high top speed. The 700 series is a high-speed Class 3 e-bike, and when you're commuting, the additional speed that you'll gain from being able to zip along at 28 mph is highly noticeable. Compared to a Class 2 20 mph bike, you cover ground at almost twice the speed when riding with cars. You travel much closer to the same speed on lower speed roads, and this ability to match pace with traffic is a great help when you're commuting in busy spots. It makes you feel safer and more capable as you maneuver among vehicles and other traffic. You'll also arrive at your destination sooner than on a Class 2 bike. So if you plan to commute full-time on your new e-bike, that extra speed will be a real game changer. Now for our second pro, we have the fact that this is just a complete package. The bike has accessories like a headlight, tail light, rear rack, fenders, hydraulic brakes, and even a front suspension fork. So Ride1Up has really outfitted the bike with everything you need to get out on the road and start bike commuting right away. Plus, with mounting points for a bottle cage, rear panniers, and a front rack, it can take on even more. It would be tough to see many riders wanting more right from the get-go. And for our third pro, we have the fact that the 700 series is very well priced. The 700 series is a staple of the Ride1Up lineup and has seen its price lowered since its release. This lower price means the bike is a great value compared to other bikes in its price point and category. It features higher quality features like the 8-speed Acera drivetrain and Tektro hydraulic brakes. Plus comfort items like a suspension fork, lights, and fenders really seal the deal. These other accessories can sometimes be added cost for other brands. So when we see the 700 series unboxed, it's a complete package, leaving little to be desired or adding additional cost before you can ride and enjoy the high-speed fun. And taking a look at a few of the things that didn't work so well for us. Our first con is a front wheel wobble that we found during testing. We found that the bike's front wheel was a little unstable when it was not being counterbalanced by the rider gripping the handlebars. As soon as we would release the bars with both hands, the front wheel would begin to wobble, and unless you grabbed the bars again quickly, it would not end well. This did not affect the operation of the bike in general, while you could also feel the wobble action if you grip the handlebars with only a single hand, so this is definitely a two-handed ride only. While this may seem like a strange con, the performance of this bike contrasted other bikes in the Ride1Up lineup, like the Prodigy or Cafe Cruiser, which could be ridden at high speed with no hands on the bars very comfortably, with no real wobble of the bars noticeable. So maybe this is something to do with that geometry or the angle of the front fork. For our second con, we have a bit of a low range at the high assist levels. The range of the 700 series falls short of its 30 to 50 mile estimate from the company, at least when it's being operated at full assist. The 500-watt motor is working hard to push the bike at its 28 mph limit, resulting in shorter distances at full speed. Bringing back the assist level to 3 or 4 would extend the range to hit the numbers claimed in the technical specs. The 15 amp hour battery we see on the unit is typical for bikes of this price point, and some competitors offer a larger 16, 17, or 20 amp hour battery to further extend the range. For our third con, we have some short reach on the 700 series, as it seemed a little bit undersized for my 6-foot frame. Despite having a long enough seat post so my legs felt comfortable pedaling with no cramping, the reach of the bike felt a little bit short. I felt perched on the bike when riding, and while cornering, the front wheel felt like it had a bit of an understeer, pulling me over the front in a slightly uncomfortable manner. While the bike was okay to operate, I could not shake the feeling of it being just a little bit small for me, and I would have preferred a longer bike for the high speeds that this bike is capable of. So keeping all this in mind, what does the 700 series do best? The bike seems to be a purpose-built commuter, with features like its rear rack, extended 8-gear drivetrain, and lights. It offers a pleasant platform for traveling around. The bike's profile is small enough to fit into tighter urban spaces. With a conventional sized rim and only slightly oversized 2.4-inch tires, you gain traction without losing the ability to slip into most standard bike racks on the street or a vehicle. The bike is not lightweight at 62 pounds, claimed, but it is smaller than other fat tire bikes and still manageable so long as you do not intend on carrying it up many stairs. The high top speed, conventional shape, and general vibe of the bike make for a friendly, pleasant platform for cruising or commuting. The 700 series is easy to love, with great features and value, so it's hard to find a place where the bike won't shine on the recreational rider and commuter scene. So who should buy this bike? The 700 series will make for happy commuters and recreational riders alike. We see quality, entry-level components that offer enhanced features versus the standard builds that we see at the same price point. The conventional style and tire size will appeal to riders who are looking for a less aggressive bike that still travels over ground quickly compared to some of the fat, tired, adventure-style bikes that can cross over into the commuting world. What are the reasons to look elsewhere? The 700 series offers a competitive package, but the weakest link has to be its 500-watt motor compared to other Class 3 bikes that feature a larger 750-watt motor. While the 500-watt motor on this unit is capable of 850-watt peak output and can power the bike up to its top limit of 28 miles per hour, it's slower on hills. With only 60 Newton meters of torque, the bike can struggle on the steep stuff, especially when facing slopes at a lower battery voltage. The key reason to look elsewhere is if your intended commute features steep grades or repeated hills. Now it's time to take a look at the frame and geometry. The frame of the 700 series features a familiar modern shape, with a sloping top tube flared towards the seat to lower the standover height. The battery is well concealed inside of the down tube, and the bike also features internally routed wiring for a very clean aesthetic. The single size offers a reach measurement of 15 inches and felt a little short for my 6-foot frame, despite being well sized for my leg length when pedaling. I felt perched on the bike and pulled forward over the front wheel when I was riding. Despite the bike being relatively easy and comfortable to ride and maneuver, I simply could not shake the feeling that I could use an additional 1 to 2 inches of reach. Next, let's take a look at the motor. We have a Bafeng 500-watt motor featuring a max output of 850 watts and 60 Newton meters of torque. This motor is similar to the one on the Cafe Cruiser, if not the same model, and offers a very similar performance. On level ground and slight grades, the motor performed very well, with peppy acceleration and the ability to power the user right up to the top speed of 28 miles per hour. When faced with steeper hills over a 12-degree grade, the motor begins to show its size and struggles more than its larger 750-watt cousins. The motor's performance is only an issue when faced with more significant grades. So in general, this is a very pleasant motor, and with a high top speed, the bike is a fast commuter. Now to take a look at the cockpit and control. The cockpit is pleasant, with a standard set of riser bars and an adjustable stem. The stem offers 60 degrees of adjustability to dial in the reach for users and can help you gain a straighter or more athletic stance on the bike. The unit's control pad and bright color screen offer simple control and easy to see information. The display also controls some advanced features, such as the ability to change the assist offered at different pedal assist levels and the ability to display the battery level as a voltage or percentage, which is a great option. Overall, the bike is simple to control and the cockpit features all the items you'd be looking for in a bike, with some room left over on the bars to add a phone mount or rear view mirror. The 700 series uses a 48 volt 15 amp hour battery, which is typical for other bikes in the same price range and category. The battery performs well, with a reasonable range of 24 miles while using the max pedal assist. The high top speed of 28 miles per hour on this Class 3 bike means you can quickly eat through the approximately 720 watt hours of power that this battery offers when you're zipping along. Holding back on the assist will extend the range, and the bike offers the ability to charge through its integrated charging port or remove the battery and bring it inside for charging, so you could always bring your charger with you on long rides. During our range test, we had a total distance of 23.49 miles over a time of 1 hour and 11 minutes with an elevation gain of 1,135 feet. Now taking a look at the charger, battery removal, and keys. The unit has a 48 volt 2 amp charger that will refresh the battery in approximately 6 to 8 hours from a 0% state of charge. This is a standard item and a relatively slow charging time for the standard size battery that we see on the 700 series. The battery is removed from the bike after inserting the key and turning to release the lock. The battery has a small knob at the top. Simply twist this, and after unlocking the battery, you can remove it from the frame entirely. The battery is installed again by simply inserting it into the frame and clicking it into place. No key is required for the installation of the battery. On the drivetrain, we have a nice little upgrade. As we can see, a Shimano Acira 8-speed group set with a 45 tooth front crankset and an 11 to 30 tooth rear cassette. Other bikes in the same space offer a 7-speed tourney or a mixed group set, so it's nice to see the trigger style shifter slung under the bars. It provides a nicer and more convenient shifting experience than the tourney, and with the additional gear and upgraded range, you can dial in the perfect cadence that much better. Regarding the gear range, the 11 to 30 tooth is a step up from the 14 to 28 tooth we would normally see on a 7-speed, so it's a great little added value for this unit. Now let's take a look at the brakes. The 700 series continues the trend of high-value components with the Tektro E350 dual hydraulic brake. It's a great setup with these 180mm rotors, offering a pleasant lever feel and good stopping power. This set of brakes we see on many high-speed or heavy e-bikes, and it's great to see again on this Class 3 unit. So we can confidently move into our braking test as we see how the wheels and tires will really affect its performance. As we watch the braking tests, we can see from the 28 mile/hour test that the tires are a little slick at higher speeds and are bringing up that stopping distance to 43 feet. But at 20 miles per hour, we have a respectable distance of 19 feet, so please be careful at higher speeds on this bike as it will take a little bit longer to stop. Now let's take a look at the wheels, tires, and fenders. Rolling in on a more conventional tire set than we often see now, the 700 series uses a WTB Groovy tire in a 27.5 by 2.4 inch size, paired with 32mm wide alloy rims. The bike is comfortable and easy to maneuver, and the tire strikes a pleasant balance between comfort and performance. When the 27.5 inch rim that's easy to operate but offers better travel than a 26 inch, and a 2.4 inch smoother tread tire which performs well on the hard packed surfaces that the bike seems to favor, and it's slim enough to fit into most bike racks on the street or a vehicle, better than the fat tires that we often see. The tires still offer enough volume to cushion bumps and can be tweaked to find the perfect tire pressure for your intended route. But these did seem a little bit slippery when we're dealing with any kind of wet or slick pavement in our braking tests. Now let's take a look at the safety on the unit. We're featuring a front and rear light for driver awareness and the typical reflectors that we'd find on these bikes. The 700 series is definitely ready to ride at night and be seen. Both brakes also feature motor inhibitors to ensure power is cut as soon as you squeeze them. This works for the throttle and pedal assist and is a nice touch with these cadence-centered bikes, which can sometimes have a slight delay. Now let's take a look at the kickstand. And as we often see on these e-bikes, the 700 series features your standard single-sided kickstand. It's perfectly functional and offers no issues when we're out riding and testing. Next, we're getting around to our contact points. And we're going to start things off with the grips. We see the standard faux leather velo grip that we've seen on so many bikes. They're not lock-on grips and they do have an ergonomic flair to them. Personally, I dislike these grips, but I think I've mentioned this in enough reviews, and we see them on a ton of bikes, so you can really take them or leave them. I personally would change them out for something that's not going to slip around on the bars quite so much. And now, taking a look at the saddle, we have the 700, which features a very comfortable Selle Royale seat, which is the freeway saddle. And it's relatively wide, but not so much that it's going to impact pedaling. And it has that Selle Royale comfort gel with some polymer springs. So it's got some cushioning and it's a very comfortable seat for the first 20 miles or so. And luckily the range test didn't go much further than that. Finally, for the pedals, the 700 has a standard set of Wellgo platform pedals which are supplied with the unit. These are perfectly fine to get you out riding, and the pegs offered reasonable traction and support. They're a pedal that I see on many e-bikes and they offer good entry-level performance. So we're seeing a pretty standard set of contact points here that we see on most e-bikes that we're testing. And finally, for the accessories, the 700 series comes equipped with fenders, lights, and a rear rack, which means you're fully equipped to get out riding immediately. If you wanted to add some cargo space, the brand offers a front rack, pannier bags, and a phone mount, so you can customize your ride even more. Well, that wraps up the review of the Ride1Up 700 series. Ride1Up is bringing value for a great price with the 700 series. We see an excellent looking package with some great technical specs to back it up. So if you're looking for an amazing commuter and recreational bike that won't break the bank, look no further. The 700 series has seen many happy customers, and after testing this high-speed commuter bike ourselves, we can see why. So long as you don't plan on facing steep hills regularly, this is the workhorse to get you where you need to be daily. Is this bike for you? Check out the detailed specs at bikeride.com and see user and expert reviews. You can also check out other great e-bikes and see them rated to find your perfect match. Do you have a question or something you want to say? Let me know in the comments and we'll start getting you some answers. And if you liked this video, please give us a like and a subscribe so we can keep on bringing you the latest e-bike reviews and news. I'm Scott with bikeride.com, and I want to say thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the ride.